Deadpool as Nick Fury's bodyguard. I know I will not be the only one to make that comparison, nor will I be the last, but how can you not be excited by that? Deadpool is Nick Fury's bodyguard. That's awesome! The Hitman's Bodyguard. So The Hitman's Bodyguard is the latest action comedy and stars Ryan Reynolds, Samuel L. Jackson, Elodie Yung, I believe is how you pronounce her name, Gary Oldman and Selma Hayek. And in this movie, Ryan Reynolds plays a bodyguard who is tasked with looking after this high priority witness who is the only person left to bring down this political warlord. However, the person he's trying to protect is someone he has beef with, someone who's tried to kill him multiple times. So straight away you know that these guys cannot stand each other. But he takes the job anyway, and now these two go on a sort of road trip type movie where their back and forth is definitely the high point of the film, because without a doubt Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson are absolutely the best part of this film. Their chemistry on screen was absolutely fantastic. There was never a dull moment when they were together on screen. The back and forth was fast, it was witty, it was hilarious. I really do feel like these two genuinely hate each other, yet they're somehow forming some strange sort of bond on this road trip. Granted, they're basically playing heightened versions of themselves. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds in this movie and Samuel L. Jackson is Samuel L. Jackson. But that didn't bother me because their back and forth was entertaining as hell. You also have Selma Hayek in this movie who plays Samuel L. Jackson's wife, and she was fantastic in this film. She generated a lot of laughs for me. And what made it better was they didn't use her so much that she became really annoying. They used her just the right amount so that you fell in love with her character. You weren't wanting more of her, you got exactly what you needed. And every scene she was in, she stole. She was fantastic. I also have Gary Oldman in this movie who plays the big political warlord, the guy they're trying to bring down. And it really reminded me of the old villains he used to play back in the 80s and 90s. Air Force One was the first thing that came straight into my mind when seeing him in this movie. And while this movie does do a good job of paying homage to those classic movies of the 80s and 90s, I feel like Gary Oldman was in a completely different film. I don't really feel like that's his fault because he is one of the best character actors working today, but you can't help but notice that the tone of his villain doesn't really fit the tone of this film. In fact, the entire tone for this film isn't exactly consistent. There are times where it really does pay homage to those classic 80s and 90s action movies that we really loved, purely for the over-the-top cheesy action sequences that they had. And granted, the action sequences in this movie are awesome. They're over-the-top, but they're entertaining as hell. The director did a very good job of directing the action in this film. The camera tracks everything that's going on. There's no jump cuts, there's no shaky cam. You can see everything that's going on, and I love that. However, in that over-the-top cheesy tone that it's going for at certain times in the comedy and the action, there are certain parts in this movie that do start to take themselves a little bit too seriously. And in that, the serious tone does clash with the other tone that they've already set for this film. From the way this movie is marketed, from the posters to the trailer, it looks like it's just going to be a very fun action comedy. And that's what you'd be expecting when you go into this movie, but when that serious tone suddenly comes in, it hits you out of nowhere and you are a little bit shook up about it, going, I don't really know if this fits with the tone of the rest of the film. That's my biggest issue with this movie. Another small issue I have is the story's pretty generic. You've seen stories like this many times before. It's pretty predictable, you know how it's going to end, but overall, I had a great time with this film. I think it's entertaining as hell. Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson definitely make this movie. The action sequences are incredibly entertaining and very well helmed by the director. However, the weak story and the clashing tone is really what pulled me out of this film, but I did really enjoy it. If you know what you're going in for, just a good action comedy with Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson swearing at each other, then I feel like you won't really be disappointed in this movie, because that's all I went into this movie for once I saw the trailer, and I got that. I had a great time with this film. And so for all of that, I'm going to give The Hitman's Bodyguard 3 stars. So, The Hitman's Bodyguard, have you guys seen it yet? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks as always for watching, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, then subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks again for watching. You guys are awesome, and I will see you all in the next video.